3 days, no scoop, no updates, no poker stories, nothing. And if you've been watching this show for any length of time, you know that's weird. But this morning, I'm staring at a computer screen and I realized this story didn't start 3 days ago. It didn't start last week. It didn't even start this year. This story started years ago with a lonely CPU sitting on a shelf. Lovely day. Now, if you only saw my Facebook post this morning, you'd think I'd built a computer. That's not what happened. What happened was much stranger. Because when I zoom all the way out, this wasn't a computer build. This was a years-long saga involving a forgotten dream, a conspiracy theorist trapped in a closet, and several days of armed sentry duty around my property waiting for delivery trucks. Years ago, I bought an Intel i14-9KS, and at the time it was supposed to become the heart of some future dream machine. Then life happened. The CPU went on a shelf and stayed there. Month after month, year after year. The dream wasn't dead. It was parked. Parked? Why, that CPU was after paying property taxes. That thing was on the shelf so long, I started calling him by name. And this is where the story gets ridiculous. Because while the CPU sat on the shelf, Closet Phil was still trapped in his room. Some nights that CPU was all I had. Me and him. Just the two of us. Everyone else was moving on. New graphics cards. New computers. New stream setups. And me, still in the closet. Still staring at that CPU. I'd look at him and say, one day, bye. One day we're getting out of here. Sometimes I'd ask him questions. Do you think Phil's ever going to build you? Silence. Yeah, good point. Do you think we're forgotten? Silence. That's what I figured. Meanwhile, the CPU just sat there, waiting. Which honestly is how a lot of dreams work. They don't die, they wait. Then along comes the B70, the Intel Arc Pro B70. 32 gigs of VRAM, and suddenly everything changes. Because now the dream isn't theoretical anymore. Now it's possible. Now it's dangerous. Because now I'm spending money. One part becomes 2 parts, 2 parts become 5 parts, 5 parts become 10 parts, and before you know it, there are boxes showing up everywhere. And the avalanche begins. Exactly. Motherboard, RAM, cooler, case, power supply, accessories, adapters, capture cards, more adapters, then adapters for the adapters. And every delivery creates 3 new things that need to be ordered. Now this is where the story really becomes ridiculous. Because at some point, I stopped waiting for the deliveries. And I started guarding for deliveries. Like, I'm serious. I turned into a watchdog like you wouldn't believe. I had strategic positions, observation points, listening posts, intel gathering operations, military grade package surveillance. I knew when the truck entered the neighborhood. I knew when tracking updated. I knew when tracking didn't update. I knew when tracking should have updated but didn't. Every sound outside became important. A dog barking, possible delivery. Car door, possible delivery. Truck, definite delivery. Wind, potential delivery. Why, you were out there patrolling the property like a border collie. At one point, I think I checked tracking so many times that I actually became part of the logistics chain. And every delay felt personal. One package delayed, then another, then another. Meanwhile, the scoop disappears. 3 days gone. Because my entire life had become, where's the package? Then finally, the boxes arrive. The moment I've been waiting years for. The CPU comes off the shelf for the first time, years later. That alone was weird. Because suddenly this thing had become part of the scenery, was real again. It was happening. Motherboard installed, CPU installed, RAM installed, cooler installed, fans installed, and for the first time, it looked like a computer. Then came cable management. otherwise known as psychological warfare. Mystery cables, duplicate cables, identical cables, random connectors, front panel headers, fan controllers, USB headers, AIO cables, things that looked important, things that definitely were important, things I had absolutely no idea about. Then finally the power button. Lights, fans, display, life. And for about 5 glorious minutes I thought I was done. He was not done. Then I noticed something. BIOS. And suddenly I remembered the original Raquel. The machine that fought me every step of the way. The machine that never quite felt right. And a question enters my head. What if the old BIOS was part of the problem all along? I can't move forward. I need answers. So now we're researching, downloading, formatting USB drives, double checking files, triple checking files, reading instructions, reading them again. Then comes the flash. The longest progress bar in human history. Boy, I aged 3 years watching that bar. Then it happened. 2026 BIOS. i14-900KS recognized, 64 gigs detected, everything running, everything stable. My OBS sees the capture card, signal appears, the machine boots. And that's when it hit me. This isn't a story about a computer. It's a story about how long dreams actually take. People see the finished machine. They don't see the years on the shelf. People see the stream. They don't see the failures. People see the studio. They don't see the rebuilds. People see the result. They don't see the waiting. Most dreams aren't overnight successes. Most dreams spent years collecting dust, waiting for you to come back. You know what, boy? I kinda misses that CPU. You talked to a processor for years. He listened. He was a box. He believed in me. Well, he finally got his chance. And now? Now, Raquel II is alive. And honestly, after everything it took to get her, that's a lovely day.